Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Warning: this video will contain spoilers for the 1982 movie, Conan the Barbarian. This video may also contain discussions and/or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a nice day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well, hope everyone is having fun, and I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Before we get into this video, I want to point out and say that we got the holidays coming up here in America, starting with our holiday of Thanksgiving, and basically non-stop chaos from Thanksgiving to the first of the year. So I'm going to try my best to try to get videos out, but there may be days in which I'm just got way too much going on with family obligations to get videos done. This is just kind of a heads up to let you know. So if you go to check to look see if I've uploaded a video and there's not one, that's the reason. It's just because the next 5 weeks or so are going to be complete chaos. You got family obligations. So, now that I got that out of the way, we can get into this video. Today we are going to talk about the 1982 Conan the Barbarian film. Starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is the first film that I personally came across in which I had heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Had James Earl Jones, who I knew from Star Wars and Dr. Strangelove. And it had a rather interesting cast. The movie was made for $20 million. The box office returns on it were between 68.9 and 79.1 million. I don't know why it's why there's that fluctuation. Maybe at that particular time they figured box office return differently. Or maybe that it made X amount of dollars in one demographic and so much more in, I don't know. Interestingly, this movie was originally released March 16th, 1982 in Spain. Then later in the year, on May 14th, 1982, it was released in North America. Which is weird because I think most, in the modern age, I think most films are released in America before they go abroad. So I found that kind of interesting. The movie was directed by John Milius and written by John Milius and Oliver Stone. Yes, that Oliver Stone. And it's based on Robert Howard's Conan stories. And like I said earlier, it was led by Arnold Schwarzenegger. The basic premise of the movie is an origin story. Conan is living among his people. They're just kind of doing their own thing. Then raiders seeking the knowledge or the question, the answer to the riddle of steel, basically decimate his village. They're led by James Earl Jones's character, Thulsa Doom, and basically slaughter everyone but Conan. He's sold. They take him. They sell him. He's strapped to the wheel of pain, which is a basic grind or millstone that is human powered. And we get a montage of him growing up and just pushing this thing in circles and circles and circles. And that's what is credited with making Conan this massive, Schwarzenegger-like body. He's finally sold again to gladiators. He is trained and put in a gladiator pit. Wins countless fights, making his owners very, very rich. And he is freed to go about his own way. Well, before he's freed, because he's making so much money and his owners are so want to keep that, they basically they give him training and they use him as a stud to breed women within their particular group. So they have his genes, so they can produce more fighters, more people. Then, like I said, they had let him go. He's making his way through the world. He becomes a thief. At one point, he's chased by wild dogs into a tomb, finds a sword, and decides that that's going to be his sword. He teams up with a couple other people. They go in and they find the cult, and they basically dismantle the cult. One of the people that Conan had teamed up with was a female thief by the name of Valeria. Valeria gets killed, and basically Conan and Subotai, his other kind of guy he hung out with, they basically plot revenge. They get revenge. There's a big orgy scene, which, as an adolescent, I did not see this movie in the movie theaters. I saw it on HBO and Showtime. And the sex, the boobies, is what originally got me watching it. Then when I was diagnosed and treated for dyslexia, I had found a love of reading. So I started reading the Howard books. And Howard's books are kind of, I would describe them as action adventure, punch a hoe, softcore porn novels. Then it's this collaboration, and I am pretty sure that Millis and Stone basically cherry-picked different novels to come up with the storyline that they came up for this movie. I'm not going to dwell too much on the details of the movie, but it does have some really good things to think about. You have, imprisonment, one's own slavery to their beliefs, the philosophies, religious dogma. It asks questions concerning at what point does a religion become oppressive? When a religion becomes so big and so oppressive that it's basically a cult. Whether it's a cult of personality, a political cult, or just a cult that wants to control everything. It gets into free will. Do we really have free will? Does loving somebody diminish our free will? Does having friends, does that strengthen or diminish individuality? The rights of the many versus the rights of the privileged, and this movie, that it explores it. It explores it without preaching to you. And a lot of people, especially younger people, and when I say younger people, I mean probably 35 and younger, because a lot of them have been spoon-fed what to believe, how to believe, why to believe, and they've been spoon-fed by us, the Gen X crowd, because, well, we overcompensated for the neglect of our childhood. So these younger people don't really see the imagery, the symbolism, where we as Gen X growing up did. We embraced it. We looked for it. Or I should say that me and the particular people that I pal around with, that was our thing. It's, you have the story, but what is the story between the lines? What is the story they're telling, not the story you're seeing? And like I said, this movie covers a lot of that. Like I said, it points out that Thosodum starts out as this little band of raiders, and by the end of the movie, it's this huge religious cult with dogmatic beliefs. Do this on this day, worship this way, kneel here, thank God there. And how it grew from a group of thugs to being this all-encompassing oppressive group, this oppressive religious cult. And it is contrasted with Conan and his friends as individuals, as they don't particularly care for the cult, but as long as it doesn't mess with them, they don't mess back. Until such time that the money is advantageous to them. They get hired to rescue this man's daughter, this king's daughter, from this cult. And he offers enough money that it makes it worth Conan and his people's time to go do it. And this guy's daughter is completely brainwashed, the whole nine. They go in, they rescue her, they agitate the cult, C-U-L-T, not Colt, C-O-L-T, Colt. Two different cults. But they rescue her. Like I said, Conan's girlfriend, love interest for this movie, gets killed. And the revenge part. This is where the revenge part comes in. And this shows how, regardless of how a cult appears or presents itself, it's not perfect. It's not, it is more than what it appears on the outside. It is more than what the particular followers portray it as. Like I said, a lot of it is individuality versus collective. The collective in this case being a fairly conservative, hypocritical religious cult, and the freedom, free-loving individuals. You also have, and what makes it hypocritical is that the guys at the top, Thulsa Doom and his right-hand men, all get to enjoy, the orgies and the drugs and the alcohol and the jewels, where the people who follow, the average Joe follower, your acolytes and stuff, are just kind of expected to sacrifice everything so the people at the top can have their lavish lifestyle. And basically, Conan comes in and disrupts all that. The follow-up movie, Conan the Destroyer, had some imagery in it, some stuff to it, but it wasn't near as well thought out as this one was. This, like I said, this was a pretty good movie overall. I think a lot of the reason why the movie came across the way it did is because of Oliver Stone's writing. Oliver Stone is, at this time, he was a fairly decent writer. Throughout the 80s, Oliver Stone started to worship Oliver Stone, and we got some really good movies out of it that Stone wanted to pawn off as history, but they were him rewriting history. JFK, Born on the 4th of July, and Wyatt Earp. All examples of him rewriting history to fit his narrative. They're good movies. I enjoy them. I enjoy watching them every now and again. However, they're not anywhere close to historically accurate. But that's that. And I think the Conan was written at a point in Oliver Stone's career where Oliver Stone wasn't stuck on Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone didn't worship at Oliver Stone, and that led to this being what it is. It's a great fantasy movie. Like I said, it came out at a time when I was going through it came out when I was going through adolescence, so there's that. And it is a really enjoyable movie. Even if you're not into the symbolism or what it's trying to show, what it's trying to project, it's still a pretty good representation of Conan, Howard's works. The writing's pretty good. Like I said, it made decent. It for what was spent to make the movie and what it returned, made decent bank. So yeah, I would, enjoy. I would recommend it. I enjoyed watching it, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. And until next time, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.